What is up, guys? MiniBean75 here. Today I am back with part 8 of how to build a WWE Arena in Minecraft. Today we are going to build the pyro, and we're going to build the overhead ring lighting over top of the ring. I will warn you guys, the one thing about this specific episode, it's going to be a little bit different. There's not going to be a whole lot of explaining. I mean, I'll be able to explain some parts, but a lot of this, guys, is just kind of down to your preference. I mean, all it is for the pyro is literally just where do you want to put the fireworks? How do you want them to work? And a lot of like the redstone stuff, honestly, this isn't going to be a redstone guide. This is more just, if you want to see a redstone guide, there's tons of good videos on YouTube. That's where I learned how to do my redstone. 2 years ago, I had no idea, the slightest idea of how to do redstone, and now I do pyro work in all my videos. Anyway, guys, so once you get up to the stage, guys, basically you're just going to want to go through, and basically you're just going to want to decide where you're going to put your fireworks. Now, I'm going to put my dispensers along the edges of the stage, and basically that I'm going to have three different sections of two dispensers together off on the sides. Now, honestly, a lot of this I'm just going to sit and let it play, and I can kind of explain it to you right here. As you guys can see, I'm just going through and just kind of carving out next to the stage where I'm going to build my dispensers for my pyro. I didn't go all the way back. I only went back. I went 2 spaces from the very back, and then basically I just did the same thing over here. And once you have that done, guys, basically here I'm just going to take my dispensers, and I'm just basically going to put my dispensers where I want them. The one thing I will tell you guys is basically you're always going to want a repeater going into a dispenser. I don't ever like to have them. I don't ever like to have the redstone going into a dispenser. And the one other thing I'll tell you guys is, don't ever let the redstone touch a dispenser ever. One of the things I've had happen before is basically if you have redstone touching a dispenser, it'll cause that dispenser to go off or, act a little bit weird, and I'm not a big fan of it, so I always just tell folks, don't even let the redstone touch your dispensers at all, and you'll be A-okay. Alright, so now that you have all of it filled in, guys, basically what I'm going to do is I like to make sure that there's always a repeater before you start doing anything where it's going to be a lot of redstone. Basically, you're always going to want to have that repeater there because that's going to give you the freshest amount of current. And as you guys can see here, I'm basically testing it to see how far it goes so that I can add an extra repeater in if I need to make sure it goes all the way to the end. So I do that on both sides here, as you guys can see. I always do this. It saves a huge headache in the long run. Whenever you build anything for pyro, if you have a long section of redstone like I do here, always test it with a lever before you go too far. It just makes your life way, way easier. Alright, now you guys can see here, this is where I'm just going to start building the section for the outer pyro. Like I said for this one, guys, I just want 3 different spots that have 2 dispensers together, basically. So I'm just kind of building out here. This is when I was building the arena, so this wasn't even really being built for the tutorial. In reality, this was really being built for the time-lapse where I was recording it. Basically, you want to figure out where you're going to put your fireworks. Make sure you always have your repeaters going into your dispensers. Make sure that you don't ever have any redstone touching the dispensers. And basically just put it together. Honestly, it's kind of like a puzzle, but the one cool thing about Minecraft is it's your puzzle. You get to pick how you build your pyro. I'm just building it and you guys are just watching. But I mean, for the most part, for this tutorial series, guys, this episode, initially, I didn't even think I was going to do it. I wasn't going to do the pyro. Number one, it's stupid hard to explain, especially when I recorded it first compared to now. Now it's just kind of turned into a rambling video, which I'm okay with. I hope you guys enjoy it, just kind of getting to sit and watch how I build things. But a lot of how I build, guys, I build how I build. I'm going to tell every single one of you guys, if you like building in Minecraft, build your own style. Don't try to replicate anybody else's style. My style is I figured out how to do it. Everything that I've done, I looked at tutorials and stuff to figure out how things work. But for the most part, guys, my style is my style. I build my pyro a certain way. I build my everything basically a certain way. So yeah, here I'm just finishing up, guys, just building the pyro section. This one was pretty easy, but a lot of how you're going to figure out how to use pyro, guys, is not going to be through tutorials. I mean, just how redstone works in general is going to be through a tutorial, but for the most part, guys, how to, build your own pyro, that's going to be something you're going to have to figure out yourself. Just practice. Build arenas. Just mess around with it. And then here, guys, this is where I'm getting to where the one thing that I do that's a little bit different than what most folks use. I know I showed this in my the how-to pyro video before, but basically this is where I like to make a repeating circuit that basically powers the pyro so that the fireworks will continuously shoot off. Basically, as you guys can see here, you're gonna want two repeaters facing one way, two repeaters facing the opposite way, and then basically they're gonna be connected with redstone on one end. Then on one side, basically where the repeaters are facing, you're gonna want to put your a block with a lever on top, and then you're just going to stick a redstone torch just like that. And then basically just go with the repeaters and just kind of figure out what you want the delay to be. A lot of that, too, is just going to be kind of messing around with it. So now I'm just going to skip ahead here, guys. Honestly, now you're just going to take everything that we've broke up to put the pyro in and basically just cover it all back up. Alright, now you guys can see we've got that completely done. This was kind of a different tutorial, to be honest, because it wasn't really a tutorial. But now this is where I build my fireworks. Once again, guys, I'm going to tell you to figure out how to build fireworks, head on to YouTube, or go through the tutorial section depending on what system you're building on. There's going to be a way to build your fireworks. Basically, you're just going to want to figure out if you want to do burst fireworks. A lot of my fireworks I use are burst fireworks. But other than that, you can figure out the color and all that stuff. And then basically you're just going to put, however many fireworks you want in each of the dispensers. So this is a pretty tedious part of building arenas, so I'm not really going to show this part. But if you want to see a guide on that, look on YouTube, guys. There's tons of awesome guides on YouTube of how to build your fireworks. Alright, so now, guys, we are going to build the overhead lighting for our arena. Basically, with this, guys, I just like to build a basic circle out of the iron bars over top of the ring. I like to make sure that everything is completely symmetrical. So the first thing that I do is basically I go in line with each corner of the ring, just like we did with the rows here before, and then basically just figure out how far out you want to go. I like to go out one block from the barricade. So other than the side with the announce tables, you're just basically going to go out one block from the barricade, and it's just going to be in line with the corners of the ring. Basically, just going to do that around all four sides. So then what I like to do, guys, is I like to connect the nether fence on each side with 2 rows of iron bars to make them look like the scaffolding. Kind of make it look like the older school look where it kind of almost looks like a square. So what I like to do is on the side that you initially have them connected, I actually like to bring that out a few blocks here, as you guys can see. So basically your circle is going to be 6 blocks by 2 blocks by 2 blocks by 1 by 1 by 2 by 2 by 6 and go all the way around. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to skip ahead here until it's done. You guys have seen it 1,000 different times. But I mean, you can build it however you want, guys. But like I said, basically you're just going to build a circle with the scaffolding over top of the ring. And then one thing you will want to do too, guys, which is up to your preference, is build the Titantron screen over top of the ring that they use for sports games. I'm not going to show you how to build that. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can build it kind of however you'd like. So I'm just going to skip ahead here. All right, and then once you have your scaffolding in the circle, basically then you're just going to want to go around. I like to use glowstone like we did earlier, and then I just like to use whatever color of stained glass we're going to use. I personally, for this one, I'm going to use blue stained glass. So basically, you're just going to go all the way around here. As you guys can see, you're going to stay on the inside, and basically you're going to do every other block with glowstone. And then every block that you didn't use with glowstone, you're going to use the blue stained glass, and you're basically just going to go all the way around. And the only other thing that you may do, I didn't for this one, but I like to take the wither skulls and basically just go all the way around the top part of the scaffolding. I think it makes it look a little bit more authentic. But other than that, guys, that is going to be the last video for how to build a WWE Arena in Minecraft. This one was a little bit tougher to follow, just like that last video was. A lot of it is, I mean, when it gets to a certain point of the arena, guys, a lot of it is just down to your perspective. So however you want to build it, that's how you should build it. Don't worry about anybody else, or don't try to build like anybody else. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. You have no idea how much that helps me out. Remember, guys, if you want to see the full time-lapse of this video, head down in the description to my Patreon account. You'll be able to see the full time-lapse of this video and all these other awesome videos I got coming out. It's going to be a very, very big year, guys. So let me know down below what you guys think of it. Other than that, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.